Today we are talking about avocados from the US and Mexico. Their stories in the world market are very different. In May 2025, Taiwan rejected several shipments of US avocados. The reason was cadmium levels that were higher than Taiwan's food rules allow. For California farmers, this happened at harvest time. It was a very important season and it put their income at risk. Meanwhile, Mexico's avocado industry is doing very well. It leads global markets and makes billion-dollar deals. Their success comes from quality, consistency, and meeting strict international standards. So why do two neighbors have such different results? The answer lies in nature, farming practices, and global politics. California's soil has cadmium naturally. This heavy metal makes it harder to sell avocados abroad. Mexico, on the other hand, has built a strong export system. They sell avocados worldwide, not just to the US. This story is bigger than avocados. It shows how complex global trade really is. Let's look at how nature, science, and policy affect what ends up on your plate. The main issue for US avocados is cadmium. In May 2025, Taiwan found small amounts of it in American avocados. Taiwan has some of the strictest rules in the world. For them, even a tiny amount of cadmium is too much. Because of this, thousands of kilograms of avocados were rejected. Importers also faced more checks and pressure. This is not the first time. In 2021 and 2022, other U.S. farm products were also rejected for the same reason. For California farmers, it keeps happening and makes it hard to trust international markets. Why is Taiwan so strict? The reason is public health. Rice is a staple food in Taiwan. Rice absorbs cadmium very easily. To protect people, Taiwan keeps very low limits for all foods. The problem is that cadmium in US avocados is not added by farmers. It comes naturally from California's soil. In the US, those levels are considered safe. But in global trade, the buyer's rules are what matter. These rejections show that growing good fruit is not enough. Farmers must also follow food safety rules in every country. For U.S. exporters, it is a reminder that global trade is unpredictable and often unforgiving. Success depends on understanding and adapting to each country's rules. In global trade, compliance is everything. So what is cadmium and why does it matter? Cadmium is a heavy metal found naturally in soils. It is common in areas along the Pacific Rim, including California. Plants absorb minerals from the soil. They do not know the difference between good nutrients and harmful elements like cadmium. That means some avocados will have small amounts, depending on where they are grown. The California Avocado Commission admits this is hard to control. Too much cadmium over time can harm human health. That is why food safety agencies set limits. The real debate is not whether cadmium is dangerous, but how much is safe. Taiwan's limits are stricter than US limits because of their diet. This puts California farmers in a difficult situation. It is not poor farming. It is a mismatch between soil chemistry and foreign rules. This problem is common in global agriculture. Balancing natural conditions with food safety standards is always a challenge. Now let's compare the US and Mexican avocado industries. California's avocado industry is small. It mostly focuses on premium fruit for the US market. High land prices, high water costs, and high labor costs keep production limited. Mexico's avocado industry, based in Michoacán, is built for exports. It produces all year round. It gives jobs to hundreds of thousands of workers. It supports a large part of the economy. From the beginning, Mexico invested in every part of the supply chain. They built systems for quality control, cold storage, and long-distance shipping. That is why their avocados pass strict international standards. The U.S. remains a small player, vulnerable to sudden changes in rules. Mexico's system is designed for volume, consistency, and compliance. It is a clear case of two different strategies. California focuses on smaller, premium domestic markets. Mexico focuses on large-scale exports. The result is two industries with very different roles in the global market. Mexico's rise as the world's avocado superpower is not an accident. As the birthplace of the Hass avocado, Mexico had an early advantage. But their success is built on more than geography. The industry's strong reputation for quality and reliability has secured big export deals around the world. In 2024, exports passed $3 billion thanks to expanding into many markets. Importers pay higher prices for Mexican avocados because they trust their quality and safety. The secret is a system that controls every step, from farm to shelf. The main industry group, APEAM, enforces strict certification and invests in research and logistics. They mastered cold chain shipping, which keeps avocados fresh anywhere in the world. By going beyond global safety standards, Mexico reduces rejections and builds trust. This has turned Avocados from Mexico into a global brand. Their dominance comes from quality and long-term planning. But Mexico's avocado empire still faces challenges. In 2024, the U.S. rejected several Mexican shipments. The reasons included pest detections and paperwork mistakes. Even small problems can stop trucks at the border. Security concerns in Michoacán, including cartel activity, also disrupted trade. These issues show how difficult it is to move fresh food across countries. Mexico responded by improving pest control, documentation, and security. To stay on top, they must always adapt and solve problems. Global trade is never simple. Rules and risks keep changing. Even the strongest exporters must work hard to keep markets open. Success depends on cooperation and problem solving. No country can take its trade partners for granted. Rejected avocados are part of a bigger global trend. Food safety rules are often used as trade barriers. Countries say the rules protect health and local industries. But these same rules can also block trade. For example, in 2025 the European Union rejected Argentine oranges over a fungal disease. This sparked debate about whether it was really about safety or just protectionism. For exporters, the challenge is dealing with shifting standards. U.S. avocado growers face Taiwan's zero-tolerance cadmium policy, which is far stricter than global norms. These rules can feel unfair, changing with little warning. Countries like Mexico, with resources to meet the highest standards, turn compliance into an advantage. For smaller producers, the rules can be impossible to meet. In the end, regulations decide who wins and who loses in global trade. The U.S. and Mexican avocado industries show what the future of trade looks like. There are big opportunities, but also constant challenges. U.S. growers must work with countries like Taiwan, share scientific data, and find compromises to keep exports moving. With a big harvest coming, they need either new markets or stronger focus on domestic sales. Building the California-grown brand and selling more to local consumers can bring stability. For Mexico, the challenge is different. They must maintain quality and security as the top global supplier. Selling beyond the U.S. reduces risk, but it also brings new challenges. Each country has its own rules and expectations. On top of that, issues like water use and deforestation must be addressed to ensure long-term sustainability. As demand grows in Asia, the Middle East, and Europe, competition will get tougher. Regulations will also become stricter, raising the stakes for all players. The future will belong to those who invest in science, logistics, and international diplomacy. Adaptability is key. Meeting each market's unique demands is the only way to survive. The avocado trade is a mirror of global commerce. It is complex, competitive, and always changing. Only the most resilient and innovative will thrive, shaping the future of this billion-dollar industry. As the world's appetite for avocados grows, so does the need for cooperation, sustainability, and vision. That is the only way to make sure this green fruit remains a true symbol of global connection and opportunity.